Hello.
Professional. Congratulations.
Professional.
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 Skeletons. Ta-da!
Yeah, that kind of explains what happened in the last session in a nutshell.
This episode.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Lou. Last time on D&D, you guys had faced off, I think, your first technical combat due to the deer not really counting as a combat. And you saw a skeleton had a existential crisis as he tries to hit the neighboring ship, only to throw his weapon and then contemplate all his life choices leading up to that particular point. This is why I can't have nice things. But anyway, I'll say you guys kind of left off. The plague doctor went back inside. You guys went to look for him in your room, and you couldn't find him. We're gonna catch up on there, but we're also gonna fast travel a tiny bit. After you kind of find him and have your bit of a moment, I'm gonna say that you make it to the shore, and you will begin your journey. All right. Any questions?
Not from us.
Nope.
Now, on stream, there is currently the old health for Valkyrie. I did not have time to update it because it's a PSD file and I still have to kind of edit it. She has 35 health, technically, and she has some new spells, including one that she'll probably fucking need, known as Lucky. The bane of most DMs, and I regret giving it to him already. But it's probably gonna work 1 out of 10 times, so fuck it, knowing his luck. Rolls 1, proceeds to roll another natural 1. Fuck us, I'm fucked.
This is
Yeah.
where John lost his head off.
Anyways, alright, you guys are in your room, you're kind of discussing between yourselves. Who wants to go and look for the doctor?
I would.
I'll go with you.
Alright, perfect. Can you both please give me investigation checks? Will you be sticking together, in which case one of you rolls with advantage, or will you be splitting up?
Staying together better.
Yes, investigation.
Yes.
I'll do it with advantage, I guess.
Yes, because Root is going to be helping you.
I got a natural 20.
Root, you just
Alright.
burned a natural 20. I said
Okay.
one person rolls with advantage.
Oh, okay.
For fuck's sake, listen to me!
Professional.
Professional!
Sorry.
Professional!
I'm sorry.
Professional hearing aids indeed!
That's Duck in the stream. This is not Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is that way.
I will eventually end up making a goddamn professional
Button.
emoticon for the goddamn stream or some shit.
Oh, please. Please.
Just a natural one. Professional! If anyone wants to design that, get on that. Alright, so, Root, you burned a natural 20. Congratulations. You're an asshole. Mark, since you actually know what the fuck you're doing, please give me 2 rolls.
Okay.
Misogyny in 2019. Fucking dog!
Seriously?
How much?
22 total.
You guys begin to look around and you just see the kind of like his cloak moving around slightly in the storage area where they're keeping all of the exotic animals.
What is this place?
This is yeah, you wouldn't have seen this, correct? Very good. I'll give you an inspiration for actually getting your RP right.
Yay.
Please mark it down.
It's where there's transporting animals.
Is that
Nice.
even legal?
Bit of background, it is technically legal even if the animals are endangered and or the monsters are magical. Reason being is, if you got the money, you can pay the fine. Kind of
I
thing.
It's
mean-
a bit fucked up.
Welcome to comments. Moving fast away from this topic. Whoop, and we're gone.
Well, okay, Fergus, I guess if you got enough cash, anything's legal, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
You,
Guess we'll check in here. I found him in here last time, so.
you guys kind of walk in and you see he has a hand on one of the tarps of a very large cage. You don't hear him, neither do you, Blaze. You don't hear Haze, sorry. You don't hear him at all, and you just kind of feel that he's somehow murmuring under his breath, though. He's communicating with whatever is under the tarp.
What do you think's under there?
An exotic animal, probably.
You don't say.
If anything, it's dangerous, so. Be on your guard.
I will. But I wonder what he's telling it.
The doctor doesn't even react to you being there at all.
Let's just hang out back here. Let's not disturb him.
Yeah.
Crow and Valkyrie, what are you doing meanwhile in your room?
Wait, we're all sharing a room.
Yes.
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 Unfortunately.
Wait. Can I just point out one thing?
He didn't know this after 3 fucking sessions?
No. Can I just point out one thing?
Sure.
Just for Louis' sake. Me, Crow, me and Fergus only, and the Plague Doctor only know that Crow is a half-elf. Louis doesn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
she
yeah.
was busy
'Cause he
kind
was-
of upchucking out the fucking window.
And also, when we talked to Crow, he was not in the room, so he does not know this.
I don't think he was in the session.
I think that was the session where he was actually feeling a bit sick. So yeah.
Yep.
So, no mentioning his ears, Louis. Enjoy!
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm mainly resting up after the fight earlier.
Alright, understandable.
And I guess I would want something to eat as usual.
If you want, that's up to you. Question mark.exe?
She gets hungry when she's bored, okay?
That sounds like me in real life, but anyway, moving past that.
Same!
You just ate. Give me a constitution roll to see if you are actually feeling hungry, I'll say. Because you ate kind of a hefty meal, it wasn't that bad.
14.
You're peckish at best. You kind of gather also. There probably won't be leftovers, so you're gonna have to go to the kitchen and ask them to make you something if you did actually want something. You gonna go do that?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, you get up. You kind of move over to the kitchen, you find the door is closed, do you knock, do you just burst in? What do you do?
I peek inside and I guess knock to be on the safe side.
You proceed to open the door, peek inside, and then knock. Your
I
fucking
thought it was
process
one of those kitchen
of
doors where there's
elimination.
like a pothole or something.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a cowboy door in a way, but you're just like push it slightly, stick your nose and eyes over, and you're like, anybody in here? Like kind of thing. What the fuck? Yeah, there's like a random. It's like the big butch woman that's that served you a few days ago, and it's like, oh, hello there. How can I help you?
I feel like getting a snack. I feel peckish.
Oh, wait. Oh, are you peckish for food or peckish for something else? I don't give you the other thing.
Food.
Okay, that makes my life a lot easier. Okay, he kind of like starts looking around. We don't have much with regards to leftovers. The bread goes very stale very quick. I could rustle you up maybe a fresh fish if that tickles your fancy.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Please take a seat, take a seat. She kind of like takes out a wooden chair for you. Do you actually sit down or you just stand, lean on it?
I just sit down.
Right, you kind of see her. She's alone in the kitchen, surprisingly. There doesn't seem to be much else in here. Just rolling to see how well she cooks the food. She does a decentish job, as she kind of like takes out a swordfish and she begins to like filleting it, removing the spine very precisely with what seems to be a carving knife. Do you talk to her at all? Do you make small chit chat? Nope. Okay. She's silently humming under her breath, and eventually she goes over to the frying pan, and within a few minutes it's done, and she brings you like a very fresh swordfish, along with a side of a lemon and mashed potatoes that are probably leftovers from a few days back. They don't look bad, but you know they're not that fresh.
Okay.
Do you eat?
So I start eating, and then, like, when I'm feeling full, I just pack it up and bring it to
Alright.
Crow.
The chef kind of like sits down, not that close to you, but still relatively close. So, what brought you onto the ship then?
A quest.
Sounds fucking gay. Can you elaborate?
Get someone else to do it.
Well then, I cook you a fucking meal and you don't even want to chat. Get the fuck out of my kitchen! And she like kicks the fucking table. The fuck out of my kitchen! Yep. And we're jumping back to Fergus and Jackson's Hayes view. You guys are just seeing the plague doctor. He's still like murmuring slightly into this cage.
So, Fergus, you think we should talk to the plague doctor, see if we can help out in a way?
Yeah, I think we should.
I tried to call out to the Black Doctor in order for him not to get startled.
Telepathically?
No, because I don't think it will actually work since he's already using a telepathical thing.
He just goes like, "Yo!"
My
Hey, what's
fellow
up, dog?
African American.
Yeah, probably.
My neighbor!
I'll be like, Plague Doctor, you okay?
He doesn't even react to you. He seems very deep in thought.
Should we take a peek?
If you want,
I-
sure. It's up to you. What do you do?
I wouldn't suggest it, Fergus. Some of these animals could literally rip us to shreds if they were
They're
woken
in
up by light.
cages.
Yeah, sure, because a cage can hold so much things.
You'd be surprised.
Can be kinky.
I wouldn't suggest it, but go ahead. I'll stay back here if you really want to peek.
You guys.
I lift up one of the covers very slowly, but not too much.
Alright, you kind of lift it up, and as you do, you see something scurrying away from the light.
Put the sheets back down.
Give me a animal handling check. I'm gonna say an animal handling check for this.
Okay. $14.
14.
Did you add your modifier, Ruth?
Yes.
Okay.
If you got higher, I'd
Look
actually send an image of it in the chat, but given that you didn't roll high enough, I'm just gonna describe it. It seems to be a humanoid creature with a octopus-like face, with 4 almost tendrils dripping down its face, 2 of which seem to be extremely deformed, almost as if acid was thrown at them. You get my drift. He's wearing tattered cloaks, and one of his eyes seems to be glazed over. You've never seen anything like this before or heard of anything similar. You just see that, like very barely, don't see the color of its skin or anything like that.
So, Fergus, you like what you saw down there?
I explained to him what I saw.
You can give me an animal handling check, Jackson Hayes, to see if you actually do recognize this creature.
Okay. 15.
15. Oh, actually, 15 is the DC, so I will send an image in the chat. You kind of recognize this creature from legend. It's known as the Mind Flare. It's a very
Oh,
underdark creature, to say the least. They are commonly known to go in droves, and for one to be killed is exceptionally hard. They were known to manipulate their targets in the legends as well as control them. You can react to this as you wish.
I explained to her what she described as a mind flayer, and I explained my knowledge on the creature.
Seems like a dangerous creature just to be hauling on a boat.
What I've seen the captain do, they're all drowsed basically. They aren't really, you know, at full capacity. If you got my drift.
Yeah.
I would say you can give me an insight check route to see if you actually realize if this person is sedated or if there's another thing going on.
Insight?
Yes, that is correct.
Does she get advantage since?
No, because she's the only one that can do it, because she's the only one that saw it. I'm sorry.
9.
You have no fucking clue.
Damn it.
Alright, you can burn that inspiration if you want. I am going to
Sure.
be chewing inspiration. I am warning you, you have to RP really well. And or like call me out on bullshit, that kind of thing.
Okay. Sure, I'm gonna burn the inspiration.
Alright, give me a roll.
18.
That's good.
Okay. You kind of realize this creature isn't sedated. It's been heavily harmed, and its body isn't able to regenerate as fast as a human would. It's probably because it's not in its prime habitat, and therefore it's struggling extremely even to breathe. This thing is experiencing extreme cases of torture, more than likely, and it does not even react well to light. That should give you an idea of how bad this thing is going.
So we're on a boat with a bunch of people that basically abuse animals just to get some money.
It's not really abuse, it's just... In some cases, yes, they have to beat them within an inch of their life, but it's mostly for exotic trade. In a way, it's
Still horrible
justified,
either
it's
way.
still horrible, yes, don't get me wrong. It's not a nice thing to do on a moral standpoint, but given the times where magic is outlawed and stuff like that, you can either A, become a prostitute, get the clap, go to the mines, get the black lung, or become a soldier and be like Jackson Hayes. Hey, one day I'm the Duke's guard. Next day, oh fuck, I have magical powers. Thanks, hag. The most profitable things right now aren't justified. They can't be justified. It's the world around you. It's an unjust place. Fucking deal with it.
I grabbed Jackson Hayes. Wow.
You grabbed
Grab
yourself.
from the waist.
I grabbed Fergus and I proceed to explain to him that this world is not fair. It's not even gonna do. A lot of people pay good money, and they would have us hang if something would happen to them.
That is a very correct assumption.
Everything is fucked up.
Yeah.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Don't you think I would like to see them all free? But we can't.
Wreak some havoc.
Yeah. Do you really want the captain to pay the price for that? He's a nice dude, so.
Yeah.
You can give me another insight check to see if you know something particular. I'm speaking to Jackson Hayes.
Insight. Okay. 17.
These creatures are commonly lawful evil. They're not peaceful creatures, to say the least. Um, how do I explain this better? Uh, they don't limit themselves. If they want something, they're gonna go for it, kind of thing. If they have to kill like an entire family and their dog, they're gonna fucking do it if it justifies
Or
their
a
means.
6-year-old.
Oh, shut up, Luigi.
Um, Knowing this, I'm gonna cast Sense Emotion,
Sure. Are you gonna spend a spell
but
slot? Or is it a cantrip?
it's a cantrip.
Alright, that's fine. Go ahead.
Basically to see if it's scared or feeling raged.
Sure, sure, by all means. Do you just roll, or can you please read the description?
Um, you attune your senses to pick up the emotion of others. For the description, when you cast a spell, and as your action on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your senses on a humanoid you see within 30 feet. You indirectly, instantly can see. Wait, sorry, I'm losing where I am. You instantly learn the target's privileges, emotions, whether it's in love, anger, pain, fear, calm, or something else.
Alright.
If the target isn't automatic, actually humanoid, or it's immune to being charmed, you you sense that it is calm.
Okay.
You sense that
It is a
it's
humanoid,
calm.
so
Yeah.
it will have to roll a save against you. It rolled a natural 1, so you're gonna sense it immediately. You kind of sense that it's going through extreme pain and fear. That's literally all it can feel right now. Right? What do you guys wanna do?
Um,
Actually,
I
I'd
explain.
sorry, one moment. At this point, you'd probably hear "Get the fuck out of here!" as something is kicked just down the hall from you.
Wasn't that the cook?
You think we should go check on what's happening up there?
Maybe. Then again, it doesn't sound like something too serious.
Yeah, but it could be one of our people. Do you
Yeah,
want to row Rochambeau to see who goes?
sure.
Um, how is this gonna work?
Oh, shit.
Things
Who
we
ro-
have to
Who
do
rolls
with.
the lowest?
Yeah, who
Uh,
rolls the lowest has to
roll the
go.
lowest.
Okay.
Okay.
I th- I got a 4.
I'm going. I got a natural one.
Jesus fucking Christ. Am I being heard better on stream, by the way? Please somebody respond to that. Alright, so Jackson Hayes, you kind of lose at the game. Like, fuck, and you just walk out.
Wait. Since I got a natural one, I was just like, wait, how does this game work again?
You start putting out numbers.
Yeah.
Fucking numbers. No one questioned this.
Professional.
Professional! Yeah. You kind of walk out and you just see Valkyrie now with a half-eaten plate of fish in her hand, as the cook is like closing the goddamn cowboy door. Fucking asshole! Don't want to speak to no bitch. Fuck you.
Please tell me that Valkyrie has her mouth full of food. She's like,
More than likely, yes.
What did you do, Valkyrie?
Nothing. I wanted to eat and not speak.
Fucking asshole.
It sounds so cute though.
Go eat in the room. I'll smooth things over here.
Thank you.
Alright.
You never change, do you, Valkyrie?
Nope. Get used to it.
Fucking
Yeah.
Whore.
Max, do me and Valkyrie know each other for years since she's the king's wench?
You wouldn't know each other personally. You'd know her more of a passerby, kind of thing. It's not the kind of person you'd have dinner with on a daily basis, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I know that she's a wench.
She's a dick, yeah.
Yeah. You know,
You guys went in two completely different directions.
The one thing she loves and
same
the one thing she
directions,
hates, yeah.
but one went nice route, one went the. I shot at the Valkyrie. You should really consider the way you treat people. One day nobody will have your back if you continue this way.
I didn't do anything. I wanted to eat and not speak about our adventure.
You just hear like the sounds of pots and pans being like scrubbed, and there's just a sound of multiple things I can't say on stream due to breaking of terms of service. Crow, you're still in the room. Are you just gonna take a short rest or a long rest? What do you wanna do?
Just a short rest.
Alright. Fergus, you kind of stick your head out the door and you're just seeing all of this happen. Valkyrie is now walking towards you.
Say that again, Max.
Luigi is walking towards you and you see this shit.
Hey, what happened?
Nothing. I'm going to eat. Bye.
It's almost like real life, Luigi. Moving on. Love you, babe.
Okay then. Enjoy your food, I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Why proceeding to stuffing her mouth when she was?
Alright.
I proceed to knock on this cowboy door before going in.
Kind of turns over to you. Oh,
Why
you
must
mean the
be
fucking
inside
cum
here?
guzzler. Come in, come in.
Sorry about my traveling companion. She
Fucking
can
bitch.
Yeah, she can be quite rude.
Yeah, I fucking made her fucking food and it was fuck piece of shit. Like bursts into tears right there and then.
Enjoy, Mike.
If it will make you feel any better, I'm feeling kind of peckish. Would you mind making me something?
Sure, you just take the food. Fuck off!
It'd be automatically like, oh, she cooked for, and she got,
Shafted.
Can I
and
ask?
you're gonna ask her to cook as well.
Make me food.
Yeah.
I don't care about your
Make me a
feelings.
sandwich, motherfucker. Massaging it.
Because if she's in love with being a cook, it makes her feel better.
You would know, huh?
Yes, I would.
She kind of like starts taking out like some things from an oven. It's a very makeshift oven. In reality, it's not great. She just starts like cooking away at what seems to be the leftover swordfish, and she's like slightly murmuring under her breath. You can give me a perception check to listen to what she's saying.
Oh God.
Perception, okay.
Yep.
6.
Hey, okay, you just kind of like hear.
Can I ask what my traveling companion said to you to piss you off so much?
Fucking made her food. She sat down, began to eat it. I asked if she would like to talk, given that I don't get much people except for these fucking assholes. And then you just say like one of the crewmen's like, "Oh fuck you too, bitch," and just walks away. I just want to know what happens on in the world. I don't have a life off the ship.
Okay, I proceed to grab a chair and tell her, "You want to talk? We talk. I don't mind spending a few minutes talking."
She kind of like brings you a nice filleted swordfish. This time around it has like some cauliflower with what seems to be very fresh cheese, surprisingly. Cheese is actually kind of a delicacy and it's not given to everyone. It's kind of something that, given there isn't refrigeration, it spends a week and it's gone.
Yeah. I tell her, "Thank you. What do you want to know about the world?
Well, everything in reality. I was born and raised on the ship.
Aladdin plays in the background.
Okay,
Um,
I proceed to tell her about me being the king's guard
she,
and how the world looks.
she kind of nods and stuff. She seems very happy to be able to like hear all of these things. It's kind of a wholesome thing at the end of the day as well. She genuinely wants to know. And the fact that she has to spend most of her time with sailors and whatnot, she doesn't get a lot of talking company. Most of them barely know how to read or write. She surprisingly seems to be very read as well. Like she knows a lot.
Oh, that she's very well educated.
Yes, you think out of a 20, her intelligence is around the 14.
Her intelligence is around the 14.
Indeed.
Oh, she is smart as me almost.
Yep.
Well, no, she's smarter actually than me.
Yep.
I proceed to ask her again. I know her name because I asked her before. But I didn't realize what her name was.
For the sake of me forgetting and me needing to make a name up, her name is Margaret.
Margaret. Words. Margaret.
Yes.
Why haven't you never gotten off the ship? You seem like a very intelligent lass.
Yes, but my parents were part of the original crew here. You see, the dwarf captain kind of not took them prisoner. They kind of worked for them full time after our farm was taken over by orcs to Continent Silver. So I was always told never to go on land, never to get my land plundered by such beasts or to trust such foul creatures again.
Well, going on land and owning land are two different things.
It's always been something ingrained in my mind. I never wanted to risk losing it all just for the sake of being out there. It's very complicated. I'm sorry. I took enough of your time. It's getting late. And as you look out, you see you've actually spent probably around 2 hours talking to her. We're gonna jump over to the rest. Fergus, what are you doing?
I'm still near the cages where the plague doctor is. Is he still murmuring?
Yep, he spends a solid 2 fucking hours if you stay there.
I'm just staring at him like, Jesus Christ.
Meanwhile, at
this-
Valkyrie. Meanwhile, at Luigi, cough cough.
You hear her chewing loudly.
Nom nom nom. For 2 straight hours. For some reason, you've decided to turn the swordfish into chewing gum. Okay. Fucking logic. Crow, give me a constitution saving throw.
Oh god.
As you're in the same room, trying to sleep, and you just hear her chewing for 2 straight fucking hours.
Constitution saving.
Yes.
18 total.
You manage to hold it, you manage to keep sleeping. You just grab
But
a
wait.
boot and throw it at her at some point.
Wait,
Dexterity check.
am I snoring?
No.
Oh no.
Would your character snore?
Probably.
Okay, your character snoring.
But how loudly?
Roll me a d4. I don't fucking know.
We just continue throwing stuff at each other.
It's pretty fucking loud. It's not the loudest, but it's pretty fucking loud.
How loud would it be if he got like a 20?
On a d4.
Oh.
How do you get a
I
20
got
on
a
a
20 on a
professional,
D4,
everyone? Professional!
Oh god.
And this is how I pop a blood vessel. Moving on. Guys, like, it's getting late. Do you guys eventually go to your room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to the room.
Right?
Is the Black Doctor with her, or is he still down there?
I'd say at the point that you kind of leave the kitchen, he kind of is like wandering back to the room.
So I follow him.
Alright. Let's go through that.
Slowly stalking the plague doctor.
Give me a stealth check.
Oh, for fuck! I'm not trying to be stealthy. I'm just walking
You're
behind
just trying
him.
to be a psycho.
I'm just walking behind him, like, hey, what are you up to?
He kind of turns
What
to you
psycho?
for a moment, then turns his head back and keeps walking.
Are you mad at the fact that they're treating the creatures like that?
He doesn't even bother to turn. You can give me an insight check to see if you see the little giveaways, though.
I got a natural 1.
You think he's hunky-dory. He's never had a better day in his life. It's the greatest day ever! You think
I'm a
he's just
piece as fuck.
completely, like, fucking great. Nothing can be better in his life. I recommend all of you take lucky at this point at level 4. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Actually, no, I'm gonna limit it. Only 2 people can get lucky because it's a bullshit feat.
I call dibs.
Do I see them? Do I see the Plague Doctor walking, and I see Fergus right behind his ass?
Yes.
Can I do a perception check to see if the Plague Doctor's okay?
Yeah, sure.
Uh, 1 second. That's a 15.
Yeah, I think it's... He seems fine. Doesn't really seem phased. What are you guys gonna do?
I try to telepathically talk to him, asking him what he was doing next to the cage.
You got no response. You don't think he's... You know that he has to cast it for you to be able to even talk to each other. And he doesn't want to seem... He doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone at all.
Okay, guess we just leave him alone.
After about an hour, I assume you'll go into your room.
Yeah.
Crow, you kind of realize you can take a full rest now. It's around 8ish p.m. You guys don't really have much to do at this point.
Yeah, guess we all have a full rest.
Yep. Alright, I'll just go through the room. Alright, so. After about an hour, you hear a knock on the door as someone seems to be outside.
We Rochambeau to see who answers the door.
Sure.
All of us?
Are you awake?
Are you?
I guess so. I probably slept for 12 hours.
You've slept for 2 currently.
Felt like 12.
Well. Okay, Rochambeau, everyone.
I got a 17.
I got a 3.
I got a 2!
You're slowly figuring out how the game works.
I just put up a 4.
Louis, do you want to roll? Louis.
Are you alive?
Valkyrie, the harlot.
Hello.
Is he dead? Is he dead?
Nah, bitch disconnected. Anyway, moving on.
Let's just assume that Valkyrie doesn't.
I rolled for him and got a 15. So yeah, Jackson Hayes.
His
Wire
wa-
unplugged.
Well, no, he's
Yeah.
coming.
I said I use lucky.
Hello.
Hello?
So you got a natural 1, huh?
Yes.
Alright, give me a roll again.
Okay, how?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
it's just opening a door. I mean,
I got a 3.
Congratulations, you and Jackson Hayes tied. both of you.
No,
reroll.
no.
No, never mind.
He got a 2.
Oh yeah, fuck.
I got a 2.
I got a 3.
Oh fuck you. Jackson Hayes, you're opening the door.
I am starting to realize that Rochambeau is not my game.
Nope, not at all.
I go proceed to open the door.
All right, you open the door and you see the captain.
What's up, Captain?
I'm just here to tell you, pack your affairs. You're off in the morning. We'll be there and listen. Kind of like looks out the window slightly towards the stars. 8 hours.
Okay, we'll have our things set.
All right, perfect. Hope you enjoyed the trip. Got any queries? If you just bring them up now.
Uh,
I think we're boarding the Gozo China.
are you gonna be in your quarters, Captain?
Yeah, more than likely.
I'll probably come and talk to you soon.
All right. Nadeko walks off back upstairs into his quarters. Yep. You guys have the night to spend. What are you gonna do?
I guess I go talk to the captain to get some information about the animals on there.
I jump back into bed.
Of course you do.
Do
Okay.
you actually jump?
Yes. Oh no.
Dexterity check. Natural 2. Natural 2.
Natural 20. That's bad if it's a strength check.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's a
dexterity.
dexterity.
Alright, thank God.
You managed to successfully jump onto your bed without ending up being a silly fish and just like clip half your body on the sideboard or something. Or like stub your small toe in the process with some dumb shit. So yeah, you just like managed to do that. You fall perfectly there. The covers miraculously land on top of you. Like in perfect formation around your body. Your whore body! But anyway. Alright, Fergus, what are you gonna do? Fergus.
Sean. I mean, Ruth.
Hmm? What?
Professional!
Fergus.
Ruth, what are you gonna do?
We're in the room, right?
Yes, we are.
Uh,
We'll get back
Turn-
to you, Crow. What do you wanna do?
You didn't even let me think.
I proceed back to snoring.
Roll me a d4.
Natural 4.
You're snoring pretty fucking loudly. Ruth.
Can I
we're-
throw?
Okay, what do
I
you wanna do?
yeet a pillow at his face.
I take off my shoe and throw it at his head.
You can give one of you advantage and throw it. You have
I
to
give
pick one
Valkyrie advantage.
person.
I actually want that boot to get the ones on.
You can
I
always
love
get
my
How much did you get?
natural 20.
You successfully managed to throw the pillow straight into its gaping mouth. Crow, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, as you are now choking.
Taking pillow.
Natural 20!
You managed to spit it back at him at the same velocity it was thrown, as it hits him square in the face. You're like, sit up, and go back to sleep.
God.
Professional.
Professional, everyone.
Meanwhile, at upstairs, Jackson Hayes, you're outside the captain's door.
I knock.
Okay.
I don't peek in first. I knock.
You know, the right thing to do, cough cough. You like hear a bit of a grumbling as you see like this small shadow eventually go by the door and open it. Hey, what do you need?
Do you have a bit of time to chat?
I guess, sure. And like, opens the door fully and like waddles back to his seat.
And he waddled away.
I proceed to talk to him about the cages on the bottom.
Yep. And the best of work, but I guess the bill's paid.
Yeah, you know very well what you're transporting down there.
Ain't my job to know what's down there.
I saw you going in and sedating one of them. Max, can I do a history check to see if it was the same cage that he?
It's not really a history check in this case. You would just what the fuck, Louis? You would just need it's basic knowledge that you have basic memory. I'd assume with 13 intelligence you'd be able to remember. So yeah, you kind of like realize it wasn't that particular cage. No.
Okay. So one cage you sedated, and then you have a mind flare in another cage.
Again, I don't know what's down there. I don't deal with them. I just do what needs to be done.
Do you know who is the buyer of the?
Take your pick. There's around 7. It's gonna go to an auction house.
You do realize if that mind flare dies, it can cause massive havoc.
Again, this ain't my problem. I've tried multiple times to get them better accommodation. They're like, no, they're fucking animals. Just give them cages and all that shit. This ain't my fight anymore.
We can always say that it got dropped out of words. We can always say it dropped out of the boat or something.
Look, kid, it ain't easy. I'm barely making ends meet as it is. That mind flare is gonna be my ticket out of this shithole. Its price alone can buy me 10 more fucking ships.
Yeah, but is that worth of having your conscience dirty?
My
Then it
conscience has
might
been
go-
dirty since the days I used to take the slaves over. It's not gonna make a fucking difference. I do what I
Yeah,
have
but-
to. I have a family. I need to feed them. Wouldn't you?
That's true, but you have to remember one thing. This might actually cause a lot of damage, and if there is blood, it's gonna be on your hands.
Also, kind of like backtracking slightly. If a mind flare dies, nothing actually happens. It
Oh no, I'm
only-
saying if it breaks free.
Oh, of course, you said if it dies. Okay, so moving forward. Again, if it is not my place, I'm just get the job done. It's done. I ain't deal with this shit.
Well, just know if you ever hear that mind flare breaking out, it's on your hands.
I'll be long gone by then. As soon as you guys get off, we're heading back.
Guess there's no way of convincing you otherwise.
Not a fucking chance.
No. At least I can say I tried.
Alright, so yeah, that happens. I assume you'll go to the room?
Yeah, I go back to the room.
You go back to the room. The night passes, and eventually you wake up. You hear the sound of crewmen yelling, the captain's barking orders, and eventually it's done.
5 more minutes, please.
Wake up!
I pick up Valkyrie like a sack of potatoes.
Valkyrie, you also gain inspiration. Sure, give me a strength check.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Natural 20, Prince Storming this shit.
17.
Yeah, you manage to grab him, you toss him over your shoulder. Grab her, toss him over your shoulder. And you just like walk out with her. She's still like groggy. Like actually Luigi, I need to give me a constitution saving throw.
Oh god.
As
Please
you
roll
are
high,
being
Louis.
tossed around.
18.
19?
Please.
18.
18, yeah, you're fine, you don't vomit. Would have been one way to send off, but yeah. You guys finally get off the ship. The doctor kind of like sticks at the back slightly, carrying his large leather bag. Yeah. You walk onto the wooden boards slowly as they creak under your weight. This is a very bustling town, very strange compared to where you're used to, where little people would walk around. It doesn't seem as policed as Worth you're used to. There are children running in the street, multiple vendors, and I'll say there's even what seems to be trinket vendors. Not regular trinket vendors.
Well,
What do you mean, not regular?
More than likely, they're somewhat imbued with enchantments.
illegal enchantments.
Again, it's illegal in some places, in other places it isn't.
This is a
Um,
different continent, so could be different
Exactly. You can all give me a history check to know if this particular place is in fact one of the places where magic isn't illegal.
History. Dirty 20.
Falter!
50.
Fully. Alright.
Yeah, I know shit.
I got a 6.
You know, fuck all. Luigi?
I got a 12.
Alright, so just Jackson Hayes knows. This place isn't as policed at all, it's very laid back. It's more of a democratic area, in a way. And yeah. Doesn't seem to hold back when it comes to magic. There seems to also be like magic shows actually going on. People casting prestidigitation and or like dancing lights in a way to kind of like make children clap and stuff like that. Doesn't seem
Do
to
I-
be as...
Do I know the city's name?
You know this place to be called Tortuga.
Tortuga.
Shut up.
Wait, isn't there a Tortuga?
Yes,
the-
hush.
Yes.
Fuck up.
Uh,
I've not been watching Pirates of the Caribbean, I swear.
I basically turned to the group like, I guess we landed in Tortuga. Considering how our last fight went, Doc, how much gold do we have?
Kind of like looks at you strangely, and you hear in the back of your mind, why do you need to know?
We need armor, we need gear if we're planning to survive this.
We don't have much. I have my own personal fund. At best, that's along with the little funds he gave us for the ship. If we're gonna need gold, we're gonna have to work for it here.
Valkyrie, you go to work.
You don't
Huh.
hear this.
No, I grabbed Fergus's head. We're all going to work.
But she'll get more money.
Well, actually, wait, you're not saying the doctor saying this, right?
Exactly like. I take back to the inspiration. Metagaming shit.
We're all gonna have to work to get some armor. Thinking of how last fight went. And no ifs or buts, you two.
But
Well, I
If-
slightly
If I'm
bumped
back.
Valkyrie, you two as well.
Crow, can you give me a perception check, please?
Damn. Total.
It's not enough. Never mind. Okay. Alright. As you two are arguing, Fergus, I need you to give me a perception check as well.
Okay. $16.
Very good. As you kind of like are arguing behind Valkyrie, you swear you see your little sister. For a moment.
wait, what?
Don't you mean me?
Fergus,
Oh,
please, is that
yeah. I said Fergus, what the fuck?
She said Valkyrie.
Yeah,
No, he
behind
said Fergus
Valkyrie!
behind Valkyrie.
Ah, okay.
And, okay, for fuck's sake. Alright.
Professional.
You just see your sister for a moment, then the person pauses, and she's gone.
Guys, I'm gonna go look around for a second. I'll be right back.
Don't wander too far, Fergus.
Yeah, I'll not be too far.
Alright.
and I go try to see if I can find
Can I
my
roll
sister, or whoever looks like my sister.
Can I roll a not a percentile dice, a perception to see if my eyes follow Fergus?
Sure, by all means.
I go cross-eyed.
You can only kill one.
Yes.
You give yourself an aneurysm. You
What's
take
with
3 points
today?
of damage.
Meg,
Oh,
what's
God.
with today? What's with today? You gave me lucky and I'm getting 20s, and now Mark is getting ones.
Well, it
I only
sucks
got
to be him.
one.
Exactly.
Welcome to
You
Lucky.
took his luck.
No. This is the thing. I'm only getting ones when it doesn't matter.
Yeah, these are like extreme checks in some cases. They're fine. Nice. Alright, so.
Maybe the reason why I haven't burnt any inspiration. Cough, cough.
Alright.
Yeah. So I lose track of Fergus.
Yep. You completely lose track. Fergus, give me another perception check with disadvantage.
What is going on?
My sister. I don't want to lose her. Okay. 11. And the 20. So 11.
That's very lucky, I rolled a 10. You begin to see your sister again, and you just see her in an alleyway, beckoning you with her hand.
Can I try to see if it's a trap or something? Because it doesn't look
Given
like...
that this is an exact what actually seems to be your sister, I wouldn't say Fergus would actually think of checking if it was a trap.
No, okay.
Realistically.
So I walk forward and tell her, what are you doing here?
Do you move forward?
Mm,
You already said
Yeah.
it, so yeah. As you move forward,
take
she
one step
runs
forward.
down the alleyway.
running away from me, right?
Yeah, she's running away from you.
I run after her.
Alright, we'll get to you shortly. We're gonna focus on the others for a bit, and then we're gonna have a long piece with you, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so, Crow, Jackson Hayes, and Valkyrie, what are you guys gonna do?
Crow, you're good with the bow, right?
What?
You're good with the bow, right?
I'm good
Yeah,
with it.
except for last time.
Step right up,
Well-
step right up! Test your luck and your aim
What?
here! Step right up! And you can just like see a man carrying a cart with what seems to be like a carnival game.
Well, I say either we put on a show and try to get mine like that, or try to win a carnival game.
Well, I can
Yesterday,
try,
winner
but
gets
judging by
one
last time,
platinum.
if you consider shooting an arrow between the ribs of a skeleton as a perfect shot, then yeah, maybe I have a chance.
Come on, folks, winner gets a platinum. It's a one-time offer.
I grab his. I put my hand on his head gently, not sexually, not caressing
Strength
it.
check.
You asked for it.
But I got 10.
In the distance.
No, I got a 10.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I'm-
you just like pat his head.
Pat, pat.
Like, come on, Crow. I have faith in you. Last time we were on a boat, the sea wasn't level.
Come on, test your aim today.
So
Fine, I'll
romantic. So romantic.
Shut up!
Professional.
I ship it.
um,
No, yeah.
You just see
Where
like
is
this
he?
old carny looking fella. He's wearing like a red tunic with a button down shirt, and he's like looking over to you, and he sees that you're like holding a bow. What about you, good sir? Would you like to test your aim here today? Winner gets a platinum.
Fine. I
Alright.
pull out my bow
Okay.
and aim.
Just like a bullseye.
$17.
I'm sorry. 17 total without proficiency.
Total. Without proficiency bonus, which would be 19.
Okay, so yes, it's a 19 total. Okay, that's better. Please remember to add proficiencies, my people. My sheeple, please. You also add your dex, so you gain more. I remind you.
Yeah, first I added dex, then I added proficiency.
Alright, thank you. So it's a 19 total. You managed to hit the secondary ring of the like target, and you swear it moved slightly.
Am I sure of this?
You can give me an insight check with disadvantage because it's masked really well.
Yeah, I failed.
Alright, natural one.
No, 4 total on the first roll.
Yeah, you're fucked. You don't think you're just like, I'm a bit rusty at this. Come on, you can do better than that. By the way, first shot's free. The next one's gonna cost you a gold though.
Nah, I'm fine.
Come on, you're so close.
I just aim my crossbow and shoot without.
Uh,
Sure.
Wait, 1 second.
Dexterity check.
While she's doing this, can I do a perception roll to look at the target?
Sure.
Natural 20 plus 2.
Natural.
Yes. 20 plus
And
2. So
I
20
got an
total.
18 total.
You see the target kind of. This time round, given you got a natural 20, it hits it bullseye, and it actually kind of like gives it a clean shot kind of thing. It goes through it. And as you're looking at it, you swear, you kind of see like the strings of it that are holding it up kind of tension slightly, but it doesn't move. Holy
So-
shit, we got a winner! Congratulations, lass! Okay, crap. He kind of like reaches into like his leather pouch and he pulls out a platinum coin. Here you go, you earned it. Congratulations, you bitch. Yeah, you essentially won the game, and he's like, "What piece of shit," and the cart starts carrying his cart away.
Everyone's insulting Valkyrie today.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah. Good job, Valkyrie. Yes,
Test
we
your
can.
aim, test your luck. Don't be like that, bitch.
Wait, so basically he's telling people don't win.
He's like murmuring that under his breath, kind of thing.
Okay.
And I basically, since I saw the strings, I know it's rigged. Valkyrie just caught him off guard.
Okay.
Am I right?
Yep.
Um,
You probably
So-
the guy that's pulling them kind of slacked slightly, forgot to pull the string and it didn't move.
that or since Valkyrie kind of did it without him knowing.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. Alright,
Um,
so yeah, you guys have 100 gold from the platinum.
Each.
No, he has 1,000 gold
Oh.
from the one platinum. You guys can spend it as you wish.
let's go around and buy equipment.
Okay. That's kind of a much shorter scene. I thought you guys would actually like kind of fall for the bait. But very good on you. You managed. Lucky piece of shit. I'd expected you to put in like 5 gold or something. Alright. I'm gonna jump over to Roots for a little bit. And then we're gonna jump back to you buying stuff, okay?
Okay.
Alright. Meanwhile, at Fergus. Fergus.
I was running after Anne
Mhm.
when she ran down the alleyway.
Alright. So, you kind of like follow her, and you see her like she jumps a fence with little to no effort.
It's a bit peculiar, but I still try to follow her.
Alright, you keep on running. Give me an athletics check and or a dexterity equivalents, which I don't remember. Um,
Which one, dexterity or athletics?
which one is your highest?
Dexterity.
Okay, then roll for dexterity, please.
23.
Alright. You kind of like jump over it and give me a perception check again. I'll give you advantage.
Okay.
Please roll on something soft.
I am 10.
You barely make out her hair in the crowd as she seems to be, again, entering this strange shop. And she quickly closes the door.
I look at the outside of the shop to see if it has a name or something.
It seems to be an abandoned shop. The glass is somewhat cracked, it's a lot worse for wear. It has a fresh layer of dust on the doorknob and on like the entranceway as if nobody actually stepped on it, surprisingly.
Is there a window I can look through?
Yes. Again, it's
So
very, very, very like filthy, so can't really see
I
through
knock
it.
on the door.
Doesn't seem to do anything, you just knock. Nothing.
I enter.
Alright, you push open the door, and yeah, you just see a store filled with empty glass jars. Some of them seem to have very putrid remains of what might have been sweets.
So it's an old candy shop.
Probably.
I shout for Anne.
No response.
I take a look around the shop to see if I can find any clues or footprints or something. If there's dust
I'm
there,
not even gonna
maybe.
say that you roll for this. You kind of look around and you see the ground hasn't been disturbed. There are no footsteps. The only footsteps you find are your own. There's fresh layer of dust everywhere. No one's been in here.
I keep looking around.
Alright. You don't really much find much. You find like some old stacks of paper and like what seem to be like receipt books and other things. There doesn't seem to be much else.
Is there an upstairs area?
Yes, there is.
And I go upstairs.
Alright. You go upstairs slowly, each of the steps creaking under your weight. The sound of the outside bustling and the talking people is kind of drowned out even further now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You go upstairs, there's 4 rooms and a... what's the word I'm looking for? A set of drawers which seem to be broken apart.
I look through the drawers.
You kind of look through and you just see like some old scraps of paper, broken inkwell, like some feathers. Oh my
Can I
goodness.
make out what the papers say?
Sure, give me a perception check. It's very dimly lit, so you can't really see that well.
7.
You think it's just a smudge. There's not very much written on it. You hear the sound of what seems to be pitter patter of tiny feet as you look behind you for a moment, and in the room exactly at the end of the hall, the door closes.
I go into the room.
You walk over and you enter the room. Okay. As you walk in, the door behind you closes by itself. You don't hear a lock, you just think it's a breeze. And you're inside what seems to be a child's nursery. There's an old cot, a broken window. There's like children's toys which are on the floor, but most of them seem to have almost been mutilated in a way.
Can I take a look in the cot?
Sure. You move over to the cot and yeah, seems to be empty. There's nothing there. There seems to be an old stuffed bear, which is an eye missing and its stitching is kind of like torn apart.
I pick it up and examine it.
Okay. As you do that, you find out it's very similar to the one your sister gave you.
Do I know exactly where I got the toy that my sister gave me?
That was something your father would have made.
Is there any relation? Like maybe it's by
It's made by
our
the
father?
same fabric, it's made by in the same technique in a way. You don't know how you were attracted to this particular place to find this particular object, but you sense this wave of pain wash over you. Can you please give me a constitution saving roll?
9.
And you feel your eyes begin to water without you even wanting them to. You sense this great amount of dread, and you don't know why. As you clutch the spear close, you don't understand what's happening. What do you do?
Can I take it with me?
You may. That's an option.
And I take it with me.
Take it with you. As soon as you like put it in your bag, the feeling is gone. And yeah, you walk out.
Yeah. Or is there anything else that I can look for or search or explore in the room?
You spend around half an hour looking around. You don't find much. There's like some very old linens which you can take if you want, and you can like pull down the curtains if you wanted to.
Yeah, I take those.
Alright, you take those. You spend like a good half hour.
And then I guess I leave.
Alright.
Uh,
Meanwhile, at the market. Again, you spent half an hour, so I'm gonna kind of like do an hour with them in the market square. Alright? I'll say you walk back to them eventually, yes or no?
Yeah, I do.
Alright, so let's start with Crow. Crow, what are you looking for in particular?
Either stronger bows or armor.
Bows or armor? This is where it's gonna get a bit difficult. What kind of armor can you wear?
Light or medium.
What do you currently own?
Currently medium armor.
That's my point. I mean, if you want to get a ring that would boost your AC, that's a bit out of your price range right now. What you can do is, I say, you can get like bracers and or like shin guards and stuff like that that might be able to boost your AC by 1 at most, but it's gonna cost you around, for like the complete thing, around 95-ish gold.
What about weapons? What can I
Better
find?
than what you have is very difficult. You can get a long bow if you wanna. I don't know what you have. I think you already have.
I
one,
mean, I
but-
currently have a longbow, but is there anything of better quality?
Let's consider this that we all have 25 pieces of gold each.
Hence why I'm not trying to spend too much.
Not really, unfortunately. You don't think there's a better weapon as you're like at this vendor. You're just like this big Russian burly man. It's like, what are you looking for, comrade?
Do you have any weapons better than the simple bow?
Eh, I mean, sure, but do you have the money for it, my friend?
I'm just looking for now, so
Oh, okay. He kind of like pulls out a bow and you see that it's made what seems to be like a ornate wood. With this, you can do perhaps How do I put this? It is a seeking shot. You have a larger range and you can ricochet.
And how much does it cost?
Eh, It is problem. 250.
I think I'll go now.
I have others if you want to save, maybe for future. If you want, I do not mind.
I'll check another time.
Alright, have a good day. And that kind of waves you off. Valkyrie,
Yes.
what are we gonna do with you? Do you want to buy anything?
Something pretty like a trinket.
You go over to the trinket vendor, and there's this sleazy looking. I'm gonna put a bit of a stereotype Jew. Big nose, very little hair, like rubbing his hands together. Hello there. What can I get for you today?
Anything black.
Anything black, you say? Kind of like starts going through his inventory and then like starts pulling out bits and pieces. You're looking for earrings, rings, bracelets. What are you looking for, love?
Necklaces mostly.
Necklaces. He like pulls out this very ornate, what seems to be a black rose quartz necklace. This is the finest thing I have, more than likely in the color black. Do you want it enchanted or not enchanted?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Alright, do you have any particular enchantment in mind? Lucky.
So, lucky.
Do you actually... What is this lucky enchantment you speak of?
Always roll a 20.
Oh
What's
god.
a roll? What's a level? What is life? He grabs a revolver and shoots himself. Allah, guys, come on. Sir,
okay,
I
I'm
do not
professional.
understand what you're talking about. Have you been hitting the sauce?
I don't know, surprise me.
How much do you wish to spend? Each enchantment costs extra.
About 80 maybe?
80. Louis.
Okay,
81!
20.
20. You see his face suddenly go very glum as he puts the necklace down, slides the box back in its place. I'm afraid I cannot serve you. Please get out of my store.
Okay, thank
Please
you.
come back when you have more gold. Alright. Meanwhile at Jackson Hayes.
I look around to see if there's a tavern around.
You begin looking around. Give me a perception check.
I wonder what tavern.
13.
13. You begin to look around and you actually do manage to find one. It is called the Yelling Mare.
I go into said yelling mare.
Alright. You suddenly enter and you are instantly hit with like the large sound of people like making a big ruckus, punches flying and stuff like that.
Okay, I walk up to the barkeep.
You move over to the barkeep and you see like this goblin spit shining glasses. Hey, what can I get you?
Do you need a cook for a day?
He kind of like looks over behind him and I'll say you don't even have to roll for this. You see there seems to be a man in whitish clothing with a bottle of sangria that's passed out. Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, we're gonna need a cook. Looking for work?
Yeah, how much are you willing to pay?
Depends how long you wanna work. If it's all day, I'll give you 10 gold.
Make it 20 gold and you have a deal.
15.
18.
16, final offer.
Well, did I see the cook passed out?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sticking with 18.
Oh, it's a shame.
It's
Okay,
a shame that
yeah.
you're gonna lose. It's a shame you're gonna lose money since your cook's passed out back there.
Yeah, not that much a problem. Most people here drink regardless. Most I can give you 16 gold and a half. I'll give you 50 silver to go with it.
Wait,
And a free drink.
Can you repeat? I didn't quite understand.
16 gold, 50 silver, which is half a gold, and a free drink.
I guess that's a deal.
Alright, put it there, buddy. He spits in his hand.
I spit in my hand and shake his hand.
Yep, it does a very moist sounding squelch as you shake
Moist.
each other's hand. Moist. Yeah.
Moist.
Welcome to the ASMR Twitch hour. And yeah, you kind of like give him some basic know-how, access to food. What drink do you want in particular? He offers you anything.
Just so you know, I do have one of my not as backgrounds as a proper cook as well. So,
Yeah, that's fine.
ale, I guess.
Pale ale.
Yeah, pale ale.
Yeah, alright. He brings you like a nice 40 mug of pale ale. Alright. And that's where we're gonna call it for today. So, do you guys have any questions?
We don't.
You guys can feel free to ask any questions. Now, I'm going to emphasize this so next time we don't have this problem again. When you use a weapon, and if you're proficient in said weapon, remember to add your prof and your mod, although it should automatically be listed. It should be listed in the character sheets I supplied for you. Now, I think we're gonna call it there then. I hope everyone enjoyed today's stream. For those that came in the middle and want to watch the rest of it, it will be available over on the YouTube channel under the same name as my current one, Baxter400. And yeah, hopes to see you guys next week. If you have any feedback, I'll be sticking on the chat for a bit after the stream. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Sad little whore.